We relive dramatic times in Summer Bay next in a Home and Away special. New series, new day.
Nice to see you,
Bruce's Play Your Cards Right.
Meet my two new dealing beauties.
Sunday.
She's all warm and tingly.
7.
Oh, it's funny, you're warm and tingly too. Maybe it's me.
He's the joker of the pack and he's a lucky jack. So join the host with the most with the biggest prizes for a brand new series of Play Your Cards Right. Sunday at 7 on Yorkshire.
Catch all the latest in the new look for 97 on GMTV. We'll have all the inside gossip on what's happening, where it's at, who's hot and who's not. Get it right in the new year on GMTV.
It's back. It's bigger than ever. It's the Miller Brothers Electrical Mega Sale. There's a huge selection of top brands with massive reductions. Save £150 on this Hitachi 28-inch Lycan digital stereo TV. Miller Brothers Mega Sale is huge. It's on now.
What mark would you give the condition of your hair?
5.
If your hair doesn't feel good,
4.
you don't feel good.
2.5.
Together, VO5 Moisture Balance shampoos and VO5 conditioners add softness, shine, and manageability. For beautiful hair, VO5 plus VO5 equals 10.
VO5 styling wax, moulds and shapes. So at least your hair will behave.
Bar owner, 29, ex-football pro. Loves lagers, lasses and a good hot curry. Seeks a loving relationship with a sophisticated lady. Swaps considered. Doesn't watch EastEnders. Cheers.
The North's new soap, Quayside, starts Tuesday at 7:30 on Yorkshire.
Now in Yorkshire, a Home and Away special looks back at one fateful night.
We belong together, you and I forever and ever. No matter where you are, you're my guiding star.
And from the very first moment I saw you, I never felt such emotion. I'm walking on air just to know you are there.
You are there. Hold me in your arms. Don't let me go. I want to stay forever. Home and away with you each day. Let me be the one that you turn to.
Someone you can rely on.
Closer each day, home and away.
Life and death, beginnings and endings. Either one is as earth-shattering and incredible as the other, but poles apart when it comes to our emotional response to them. Now, when both events occur in the same household on the same night, how would you cope? When rising floodwaters cut off Summer Bay from civilization, a series of events occur which changes a community forever.
What about here? I think that'll do, Shane. It's beginning to look like a church. It is a bit, isn't it? Angel, are you alright?
No, I'm very, very tired.
Go back to bed. I'm sorry I didn't wake you up with the candles.
Oh, don't be silly, that's all right.
No, I'll go home and leave you to have some peace and quiet.
Actually, do you mind sticking around for a while?
That's fine, okay.
Thanks. It's just this weather, you know, it's got me very spooked. I feel better knowing you guys are out here.
Stay away from me, Jack. Nothing to do with you. Look, man, I know that phone call wasn't from some guy at your school. It was you arranging to meet your old man here. Go away. None of your business. Look, the cops have got him. They picked him up in Yabby Creek a couple of hours ago. He's not coming here, mate.
I'm gonna go, Alex. We're really not getting anywhere.
Hey, come on.
Don't do that.
I gotta do something, Red. I just can't let you walk out of here like this with nothing sorted out.
Yeah, well, don't do that, because it's really patronising. God, do you think all you have to do is put your arms around me and all our problems are going to disappear?
The only reason why we've got a problem is because you've built this up to be more than it is.
The reason we've got a problem is because you won't even acknowledge the fact that we've got a problem.
Guys, stop fighting for a minute. I think the baby's coming.
You can't be going into labour.
Oh, someone doesn't agree.
That would mean you were like 8 weeks premature.
I know.
Are you sure?
I'm sure, Alex. Trust me.
Well, what are we going to do?
Rub my back. What time the contractions lower? You gonna watch?
Yeah, one's in the bedroom.
Well, get it! I'll ring Dr. Kelly and let her know what's happening. You're going to be all right.
Yeah, I know. I'm just 8 weeks premature, Shannon.
You're going to be fine.
All right, Sam, will you just sit tight? I'm on my way. Stay dry.
What's happening?
Well, his train was delayed because of the weather. Then he missed the bus connection.
What does she say? Okay, it's still very early, so it could be a false alarm. But she's going to call the hospital and have it on standby in case. And if the contractions get to 5 minutes apart, then we've really got to go.
Yeah, now...
Well, it's now about 6 minutes apart.
About? Alex, we've got to be exact.
Oh, don't worry about it. Just call people and let them know what's happening.
Okay.
It's a lot sooner, isn't it?
Oh, gotta go to the toilet again.
That's the third time in 10 minutes.
I know.
There's a baby in there, Alex. There's not much room for anything else.
Right, guess not.
You're not going to believe this. The phones are dead.
That's too bad because my water's just broke.
What do you think? It's about the only dry spot in the house.
Oh, I don't think I'll be getting much sleep tonight anyway.
Well, that was part of my plan.
Damn, boy, I'm talking about Angel. I could get called out at any time, you know.
Well, all the more reason to get a little rest while you can, don't you think?
I don't think I'll be resting much somehow.
You see right through me every time, eh?
Uh-huh. I can't believe the phones are out.
You've got a handle to you, AJ. You certainly picked your time to go into labour.
Oh, I'm sorry. I won't let it happen again. Alex?
I'm sorry, I can hardly see anything in this rain. There's puddles everywhere. Oh, what?
The bridge is out. Sorry, you'll have to go back.
Oh, no!
We've got a woman in labour here, mate. All I can suggest is that you go back home as carefully as you can and then you call your doctor.
It's premature! We have to get to the hospital!
I wish I could help you, but there's no way you're going to get across that river tonight.
Rosemary! Oh, God, Trevor, she's out there in this. How could we do that? How could we just forget about her?
She's not just out in the open. She's got a roof. Take a look around. She's probably drier than we are.
But how do you know that? How do you know that her roof doesn't leak?
Of course it doesn't.
You didn't think this roof leaked, so you'll excuse me if I don't take your word for that. I mean, how would you like to spend the night in a bed of wet straw, huh? Thank you.
Ouch! We've got to do something, Alex. They're less than 5 minutes apart.
I'm trying, all right?
Let's go back and see Kelly.
But wait, she needs a hospital. Yeah, I've got it.
What?
The old fire trail. We can get up and around it that way.
That's not much of a road, Alex. It's just a dirt track. I mean, in this weather.
I know. Angel, you're the only one who can decide on this. You know how much longer you can hang on for?
Oh, what the hell? We've come this far. Let's go. Still, this is for your own good.
You're rubbing it too hard.
She needs warming up, Trev. Now tell me again how Rosemary's roof couldn't possibly have leaked.
Okay, I think you've made your point.
Just stop struggling. Yeah. Oh.
Can I say something?
Not if it's on the subject of roofs.
No, it's about pigs, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Most efficient recycling system known to man.
There is a point to this, I hope.
Yeah, they're at it all the time. In one end and out the other.
Then again, with you, there's not always a point to follow, is there?
Yeah, and out the other.
What?
Every 6 or 7 minutes on average.
Oh, you're joking. Don't just stand there looking stupid. Do something, Trev.
Well, we could put it in Stephen's room. He won't be home tonight.
Travis. Could be.
Bathroom?
Definitely.
I have some experience on this subject.
Oh, I don't think I want to know about this. You know, there are things in people's past that are best just kept that way, don't you think?
You just grab the door and leave the rest to me.
Whatever you say.
Come on, Rosemary. We're going to play Piggy in the bathroom again.
This isn't a road. But it says road on the map. How can they say it's a road when it's just a track?
Yeah, I'll bring it up at the next map makers convention.
That isn't funny, Alex. I reckon we'll turn back. I don't like it. Ow!
We're almost through.
You don't know that. You don't know where we are.
Oh, no.
We're bombed! Bring it easy! Not so hard! You're stalling.
David, too much acceleration.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
Look, let's give it another try, okay? Hey, easy!
Alex, just look at back.
Can't!
What?
Well, the rut's all turned up back there. We can't get back through that.
I've kept one going in case the lights blow again.
I kind of preferred it with the lights on.
Yeah?
Had a bit more atmosphere.
That, my dear, can be arranged. Atmosphere. How's that?
Better?
That's just the start.
Oh, alone at last.
Oh, what? I don't believe it.
Where is he? I don't know. Oh, he'll be here soon. You just said you don't know where he is. He'll be back, Angel, I promise. Get another baby, Shannon. What's happening?
It's a landslip. Can't get through. It's stuck here.
Until the 4th of January, the Magnet half-price sale has an extra 10% off. Magnet. Food for thought.
Wally's out there somewhere.
Hi, Wally Watchers. Here's a great new magazine for you to collect, Wally's World.
Every week, Wally travels to a different country, from the North Pole to the jungles of India, and even outer space. In Egypt, you'll discover the secrets of the pyramids.
Did you know it took 3 miles of bandages to wrap up a mummy?
You'll get to know the local wildlife.
We'll have some pretty wild adventures, play games, do quizzes.
With issue 1, you get your first set of stickers and this 40-page sticker atlas free.
And every week there's a brilliant new Wally puzzle. Now where am I?
Come and find Wally every week in Wally's World.
You've got so much to do, your budget's getting tight. But Iceland make it easy for Mum to get it right. Right now it's the Iceland food sale.
Food sale?
Food you really can believe in. Bernard Matthews turkey burgers.
Half price.
Straight cut fry chips.
Half price.
Chicago Town pizza.
Half price. Real news.
Iceland food sale. Make it easy for Mum.
Open up PC Genius and you're opening up a great new way to help your kids sharpen up their maths, English, French, general knowledge and PC skills.
Every fortnight, PC Genius comes with 9 new complete games, and the easy-to-follow guide helps you and your children get the most out of them. Issue 1 is only £1.50.
Excellent!
I'm going to take the stairs up to my office every day. I'm giving up desserts during the week.
50 sit-ups every morning before my shower.
This new year, why not make a resolution that's easy to keep? Kellogg's Bran Flakes, high in fibre, low in fat, with that light, crispy Kellogg taste that's easy to stick with.
I'm going to walk a mile every day.
Kellogg's Bran Flakes, an easy start to a healthier new year.
Not only is everything reduced, there's many double discounts and 3 years free credit with nothing to pay for the first year. But combination offer ends Sunday 5 p.m. at Northern Upholstery.
The battle to save the future has begun.
Destroy them.
No! Star Trek First Contact.
On Calendar tonight, we report on a mother's fight to stop other girls dying like her daughter. Meet the girl who came within inches of losing her life in an icy river. Find out how the police found, then lost, this stolen car. And meet little Erin, the first baby of 1997. That's Calendar, 5 to 6.
Bewitching comedy for Saturdays.
How would you feel about spending the weekend at your Aunt Vesta's Pleasure Dome?
Yes! Welcome to the Pleasure Dome.
What is it?
The Hall of Gratuitous Praise.
The magic of flattery.
You choose the Pleasure Dome over high school. Wait, that didn't come out right. I'm staying here.
Spellbound in the Pleasure Dome. Sabrina's here, Saturday at 10 to 6 on Yorkshire.
They're going. Many store-wide sale offers end on January the 8th. So get down to MFI or MFI Homeworks now.
There's even more off in the Office World sale. Rexel ring binders, sale price 45p each. Virgin computer disc, sale price £6.59 per pack of 22. Amstrad PPF 600 plain paper fax, sale price £298.99. Deluxe operators chair, sale price £44.99. Open 7 days a week till 8 p.m. weekdays, 6 p.m. Saturdays, Sunday 10:30 to 4:30.
Office World. On an ordinary day, a child's bright laughter fills the air. One loving word, one loving glance, the sunshine everywhere. Your Werther's is his Werther's too, so glistening with its golden glow, so sweet and creamy, a taste so good. You're so alike, the two of you. Werther's, and that feeling that you never will forget. When one who loves you says to you, you're someone very special too.
Tried making a paella last night, never the same as in Spain. Reminds me, Mrs. Miggins at number 24 has done a Shirley Valentine with a waiter from Tenerife.
For me next week.
What, doing Shirley?
No, silly. Brian and the kids will be with me. Tenerife for 2 weeks.
Self-catering?
No, my whole life self-catering. I just popped into Thomas Cook.
Thomas Cook? Your number's come up.
No, we got it for £359.
You what?
They had stacks of other offers and all.
Look after Bambinos. I'm off.
Thomas Cook. The nice surprise is the prices.
Morning.
Morning, Dad.
Oh yeah, I must sort out that loan. But I can't get to the bank.
Hello! There's a new convenient way to get an unsecured personal loan. Call Lombard Direct, free on 0800 215,000. 24 hours a day. We have loans from £800 to £15,000 for almost anything, and our rates are low. One call to Lombard Direct, and you're laughing.
To arrange a loan or for more information, call free on 0800 2 15000.
Frozen giblets. Lovely weather for a Coleman's new pork and mild mustard casserole. Ian!
Aye, ladies' man.
A sauce made with Coleman's very own mustard that works wonders with pork. Do you ken, Hen? That's pork as in pig.
Or try Coleman's chicken chasseur, as in chicken.
Chickens! Second on the left, turn right by the tractor.
Coleman's comes highly recommended.
The wife's taking me shopping for a new kitchen this weekend.
Oh, I know where you're going to buy it.
No, you don't.
Want a bet?
At MFI and MFI Homeworks.
This is Yorkshire Television. Tonight at 7, Kim finds herself all alone and the Sugdens prepare to say farewell to the farm in Emmerdale. But now we join ITN.
From the studios of ITN, The News, with John Suchet.
Good evening. Police revealed today that the IRA's New Year's Eve bomb was a huge 1,000-pounder, and they said it was aimed at mass murder. Detectives believe the bomb was designed to lure troops and police into a trap. The IRA abandoned it at Belfast Castle because of strong security. The bomb was 1/3 the size of the one that devastated the centre of Manchester. John Draper is in Belfast.
These are the deadly homemade explosives the IRA intended to use for a New Year massacre. 1,000 pounds of fertilizer and other chemicals. These soldiers might have been the victims. Today they were guarding the hall, which the bomb squad found packed into 2 wheelie bins in the van. The terrorists planned to lure security forces into a massive explosion.
The intention of the terrorists was to engage in what can be described as nothing else than mass murder of police officers and perhaps soldiers and troops assisting police.
Detectives believe the IRA intended to create a false alarm at Belfast Castle and trigger the bomb by command wire as police and soldiers drove past. Even heavily armoured vehicles would have been no protection from a 1,000-pound bomb. The controlled explosion by the army took out the detonator, leaving the explosives intact. So what now of an IRA ceasefire?
What we need is a ceasefire from the British government. We need the British government to call a cessation to its beggarly and belligerent approach.
The police know they were lucky this time, but they also know that the IRA is planning further attacks and the level of security on the streets here remains high. John Draper, ITN, Belfast.
Next on the early evening news, the Vicarage Garden murder, Nicky's parents speak of their loss. The big freeze, a possible rethink on cold weather payments. And halfway round the world, the disabled crew arrive in New Zealand. The parents of Nicola Dixon, the teenager sexually assaulted and murdered on her way to a New Year's Eve party, spoke today of their devastating loss. They said Nicky was the sort of girl any parent would want. Her body was found in a vicarage garden yesterday morning. Andrew Simmons reports.
Nicola Dixon's body was found in the back garden of a rectory. She was dragged over a fence, sexually assaulted and battered around the head. The attack happened after she left this social club, having met up with friends. She went at 9:45, heading for a town centre pub, but never arrived. Nicola was simply out celebrating the new year, but she was dead before 1997 arrived. She had walked alone past this church when her attacker pounced. Police think 17-year-old Nicola was battered by a brick or stone, but haven't yet found the murder weapon. Her parents said in a statement, "We are devastated. Nicky was the sort of girl any parent or brother would want. She was happy, popular, talented and hard-working, and she lived life to the full. Her family and friends are going through hell." Detectives say it was a vicious, random attack.
A young girl enjoying a New Year's celebration. She's 17, she got her life in front of her. She was studying A-levels at a local school, and we all feel that this is a tragic waste of life.
Police are warning people in the exclusive Birmingham suburb to be vigilant and not to walk alone at night. Andrew Simmons, ITN, Sutton Coldfield.
The government said today it was looking into whether the wind-chill factor should be used in the calculation to trigger cold weather payments. But it said any changes would be very difficult. Opposition MPs condemned the present system as ramshackle and inept. Tim Hewitt reports.
It is the wind-chill factor that's created the most bitter cold, and the government admitted today there was an argument for taking it into consideration.
Well, we're not opposed in principle to that, and we are looking at it, and as part of this year's review of the scheme, we did ask the Met Office to have a look at it.
Special payments for heating bills are triggered if the average temperature is 0 degrees centigrade or below for 7 consecutive days. That means an extra £8.50 a week. To qualify, though, you have to be on income support and in one of 3 categories: a pensioner, a family with a child of 5 or under, or a disabled person.
It takes no account of the wind or the snow, which is quite important if you're cold and wet and your house isn't draft-proof.
And campaigners for the elderly say far more people should be eligible for the special payments.
The million over 60s who are not on income support but whose income is so low that they actually do receive other benefits, they should be eligible for the cold weather payments.
The weather itself will offer no early relief. Forecasters warn the freeze will last at least 4 more days. Tim Hewitt, ITN.
And on that subject, the big freeze showed no sign of easing today, with fresh snowfalls across a large swathe of the country. It continued to trouble those who used the roads, but many appeared to stay at home. Ian Glover-James reports.
Farmers in Kent were out with snowplows on their tractors today, clearing drifts several feet deep, driven by the northeast winds. The White Cliffs of Dover were buried in snow, so deep the Clifftop Coast Guard station was cut off. They finally forced a route through 10-foot deep drifts to rescue the Coast Guards.
It would be nice to get home to a nice roaring fire as opposed to an air-conditioned operations room where we've been for 28 hours, but we're a good crowd. We made the time pass okay.
Severe weather has hit Scotland too, where some of the coldest temperatures of the year have been recorded. In Sussex, the snow had gone, but black ice on pavements was a problem. And in Yorkshire, there were burst pipes as it thawed, and insurers warned householders to check pipes and water tanks. But much of Britain remains very cold, with ponds and rivers frozen over. But just how bad is it compared to the cold spells that have made history?
Weather forecasters say there's no chance of the River Thames here in London freezing over. When that last happened 160 years ago, they staged the Great Frost Fairs on ice that stretched 1 mile upstream. Ian Glover-James, ITN at London Bridge.
Live now to Caroline Kerr, where the Thames has frozen over. Caroline, where are you and how bad is it?
Well, I'm at Pangbourne in Berkshire, and in fact the river here has turned to sheet ice. It's more than 30 years since the Thames round here has frozen like this from one bank to the other. And local people say, many of them say, they can never remember it being as bad as this. As you can see, earlier this afternoon, the river was already frozen in patches, and a number of swans and other birds got into distress in those icy waters. In fact, environmental officers have been busy all afternoon trying to rescue birds that have got into trouble and have been trapped.
Now, people shouldn't try rescuing swans themselves, should they?
Absolutely. The advice is leave it to the professionals. The public should not become involved themselves. Environmental officers are stressing that very strongly. Already there have been some deaths this Christmas as people try to rescue a pet, and it's very important not to venture onto the water yourself. It may look pretty solid, this ice, but it in fact is rather treacherous. It's not safe for walking, and it's certainly not safe for skating.
Thank you, Caroline. The new year's begun as the last one ended for the Conservatives, with more dissent over Europe. Today, the Health Secretary, Stephen Dorrell, joined the growing band of Eurosceptics with a call for a radical overhaul of the European Union. Labour accused him of crude opportunism. Here's our political correspondent, Hugh Pym.
Once staunchly pro-European, Stephen Dorrell's conversion is now complete, as today he called for a dramatic rethink of Britain's relationship with Brussels and renegotiation of the structure of Europe.
I'm putting a marker down to ensure that the Conservatives win this general election, because this general election, as much as anything else, is about the kind of attitude that the British government takes in the second half of this year and beyond in discussions within Europe
All this after a tense cabinet meeting just before Christmas and reports of a vigorous debate between ministers over the single currency. The only cabinet heavyweights left in the pro-European camp are Kenneth Clarke and Michael Heseltine. Ranged against them, the traditional Eurosceptics, Michael Howard, Michael Portillo and Peter Lilly, who've been joined by Malcolm Rifkind, Gillian Shepherd and now Stephen Dorrell. The opposition parties say there's an easy explanation for all this, that Stephen Dorrell, like some of his colleagues, is jockeying for position in the race to succeed John Major as Conservative Party leader. The Tories are split from top to bottom, they claim. Certainly it hasn't taken long this year for the Tories' internal debate over Europe to be highlighted again. Hugh Pym, ITN, Westminster.
The Portman Entertainment Group, the company that bought the rights to Fred West's memoirs, said today it had shelved plans to make a film about him. But it refused to rule the project out for good. Here's our Home Affairs editor, Jennifer Nagel.
It's now unclear whether the tragic events at Cromwell Street will be turned into a film. The company who bought the film rights to official documents said today there are no plans at this time to exploit the rights which Portman have acquired. When and if the topic comes before the board for full consideration, the sensitivity of the subject matter will be taken into account. The statement follows the Lord Chancellor's decision to order a review of the law after it emerged that the official solicitor had sold the film rights. The proceeds of that sale will go to the West's children. Even if the company at the centre of the current controversy decides that public sensitivities outweigh commercial considerations, there's no guarantee that another film company may not decide to press ahead with a similar project. Jennifer Nagel, ITN, West London.
A prisoner who was reported to have said he wanted to do a Dunblane was today banned from entering any school in a London borough. Greenwich Council won a High Court injunction ordering David Jennings to stay away from all its buildings. Police questioning the soldier who opened fire in Hebron yesterday, today arrested a second man. The 7 shot Palestinians are all recovering. Talks on the town's future remain undecided. And McDonald's today announced a £116 million investment programme, which it says will create 5,000 jobs. The company plans to build 100 new fast food restaurants. Figures out today show a big rise in the number of motorists who failed drink-drive tests over the Christmas holiday. More than 5,000 were caught in England and Wales. That's up 18%. And the figures were up in Scotland too. Chris Roberts reports.
This harrowing video was the centrepiece of the government's Christmas anti-drink drive campaign. But the image of a young woman horrifically scarred from a road accident caused by her drunken boyfriend hasn't stopped motorists taking to the road with alcohol inside them. With more than 5,000 motorists testing positive and almost 1,000 alcohol-related accidents over Christmas, campaigners say the public is becoming immune to shock tactics. Disappointed by the figures, the police say it's time for a rethink.
Perhaps we've plateaued at the people, and the message needs to be reinforced that people cannot afford to drink and drive, and if they do, both they put their own lives and other people's lives at risk, and they run the very real risk of being detected.
Motoring groups back the police on a tough new line for drink drivers. The AA saying if it means a police car parking outside a pub, then so be it. Chris Roberts, ITN.
The crew of the British yacht Time and Tide, who have all conquered disabilities, were celebrating in New Zealand today after reaching the halfway point in their round-the-world adventure. They set out from Southampton in September for their first stop, Rio de Janeiro. They've now sailed another 7,000 miles to Wellington. Our senior foreign correspondent, Michael Nicholson, was there to watch the boat come in.
7,000 miles since Rio, and today they sighted New Zealand, completing the second leg of this, the world's toughest race. After 43 days and nights crossing from the Atlantic to the Pacific, they sailed to the finishing line in Cook Strait. This, the crew, they said, would never make it. Together, they have struggled with the sea and their own disabilities. The skipper's had numerous heart bypass operations, the deckhand has muscular dystrophy, 3 of the deck crew are amputees. Yet the only serious casualty was Brendan West. It managed with an artificial leg, but then fell in rough weather and broke his good one. But as luck would have it, soon afterwards, the crew went to the rescue of another yacht, Concert, that had snapped its mast. They sent it extra cans of diesel fuel so it could motor to the nearest port, and got back new supplies of painkilling drugs. They arrived just in time for Brendan to spend his Christmas pain-free, even though rough weather kept him strapped to his bunk. Today, they came 11 out of 14 competitors, but arrived in Wellington to a winner's welcome, and Tina Turner's simply the best.
So we'll rest here a while, preparing for the next leg, the most grueling leg of all, the 6,000 miles from Sydney to Cape Town. But they'll be spurred on by one very comforting thought. From here on, those yachts turn northwards and head for home. Michael Nicholson, ITN, in Wellington.
And on News at 10, you can see an extended report on the bravery of that disabled crew and emotional interviews with their relatives. The main news is on that planned IRA bomb on New Year's Eve. That's Thursday's early evening news. I'm back with News at 10. Till then, bye-bye.
Hello, good evening. We've had more snow in places today, but on the whole, thanks to lighter winds, it hasn't felt quite so bad. It's all going to change again tomorrow, though. Those strong east to northeast winds will be back, and so the wind chill factor quite severe, and still more outbreaks of sleet and snow to come, mostly in the form of showers. As we head towards the weekend, a ridge of high pressure will build from the north. It is going to stay cold, but perhaps not quite as appallingly cold as it has been, and more on the weekend in just a moment. Let's come back to tonight, though. It is going to be a frosty night. Further bits of light sleet and snow in places, mostly up around the north and east perhaps, and the snow that's been across the Midlands and parts of South Wales today gradually fizzling out, drifting away to the southwest. So some light snow in places, but for many of us a dry night, and for everyone a very, very cold night. Once again, temperatures down to around -9 in parts of the south, just a little less cold for the north. And then tomorrow, some sunshine around, certainly. The southern half of Britain, fairly bright during the morning. 1 or 2 showers in the east, and they will be snow showers. I think later in the day, late afternoon and through the evening, perhaps 1 or 2 heavier snow showers to come for the southeast corner. We'll keep you updated. And then for the north, quite a bit of cloud through the morning, and again, light sleet and snow in places, though it shouldn't amount to too much. Now, temperatures tomorrow. Well, the thermometer will be telling us that it's around -1 at best for many of us, but when you add on the effect of the winds, of course, it's much colder than that. It feels more like -10, -11 in the south. Looking ahead to the weekend, as I've said, some high pressure coming onto the scene, but still staying cold, widespread frosts at night, but at least daytime temperatures creeping just above freezing. Rather a lot of cloud around on Sunday, we think, so rather grey and cold with it, with a few bits of light snow in places, but cold winds tomorrow.
Power gen, generating electricity whatever the weather.
Thursday's Windsor Wind-Up.
She loves Mr. Bainbridge. You stupid little kid.
A new series of Survival at 7:30 with Drugs Despair at 8 in the bill.
Oh yeah, from your local news agency, are they?
Strike It Rich with Michael Barrymore. Then at 9, Burt Reynolds and Clint Eastwood star in City Heat.
I'm not disturbing you, am I? I got a situation here.
That's Thursday on Yorkshire.
Yorkshire Tonight's calendar with Alan Hardwick and Gaynor Barnes.
Hello and a warm welcome to the first calendar of 1997.
Yes, a very happy new year to you all. These are the main stories on Calendar Tonight. The teenage prostitute killed by a man, a mother's campaign.
It's far too easy for pimp boyfriends to exploit youngsters, and we're talking about children, and lure them into prostitution.
The girl who narrowly escaped death in the Big Freeze.
How a hedgerow started a hedge row.
And it's hello to 97 for little Erin, Britain's first New Year baby. A mother's campaign to stop men luring young girls into prostitution is poised to become a legal test case. Irene Iverson is taking on the authorities she believes may have been able to prevent her daughter Fiona's death. Fiona was murdered when she was 17. She'd been working as a prostitute for 2 weeks. Her killer is in jail, but the pimp who took her onto the streets hasn't been punished. Now Mrs. Iverson plans to sue South...
Look, shoot! Push off!
Sir, we'd like to join your vigil.
Sorry?
When do you expect the visitor?
Well, they said half an hour.
You've been in contact.
Crikey, yes.
Some form of cosmic transmitter.
I suppose so. 333 and you're through to Vodafone Free Pages, the new information service. No charge.
Vodafone put you in touch.
Yes, up-to-the-minute advice and information 24 hours a day.
Vodafone Free Pages has details on nearly 2 million businesses and services.
Out of this world.
Ah, they're here.
We'll handle this.
Man, woman, peace. Pizza? I say, did you really cut out the outdoor life?
You'll just have to keep on looking.
Vodafone Free Pages. 333. You are not alone.
I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you, alone. Boop boopy doo.
You know what I mean? Number 5. Number 5. Number 5. Number 5. Frozen there.
I wanna be kissed by you, just you, nobody else but you.
Number 5.
With Fujifilm, you could win tickets to absolutely any UK sporting event you choose. Drop in for some Fujifilm.
There's no question about it. This is definitely my...